And what are you two doing here?
We were sleeping over and you said, everyone in the plane. So we got in the plane.
Well, do you like history?
It is my life.
That's the spirit.
Split Sword of Swanstantine is, I think, one of those episodes that you really do sort of chase around in any series. We have an episode that makes use of as many of its cast members as possible. No one is just doing nothing. We're moving the plot along. There's a great sword fight in here throughout the entire episode. Great character moments, great humor from just about everybody, great villains on multiple sides. Really have a lot to do here. It's just kind of choice. I think that's just a great word for it. So the premise of this episode is, hey, Scrooge, Huey, Dewey, Louie, Webby, Lena, and Violet are here looking for the split sword of Swanstantine. You know, it's been split into 3 parts, and they have to use their true inner strength to find it to succeed at this mission.
It's gonna take more than gusto.
Yes, it's going to take virum fortitudinum.
Yeah, sure.
True strength?
While at the same time, FOWL is on the set. FOWL is also looking for the sword. So what makes this cool is that we have our characters pairing off into different groups. Some of these are a bit more obvious. Dewey and Webby splitting off just seems to be the norm. They really bonded in season 1. Just call it what it is.
We totally do Webby it.
Aw, it looks like our true inner strength was our friendship.
And the friends we made along the way.
But then we sort of shake it up, but we have Louie and Violet, which I don't think anyone really would have thought.
Now you see why we go by fake names?
Because the truth of us is far more terrifying.
We have Huey and Lena, again, another great
Take
idea.
it from someone who used to be Magica's shadow. You can't ignore the parts of yourself you don't like. Even the parts you're afraid of. You gotta own them.
But he's pure chaotic rage.
And you are pure, frustrating order.
And Scrooge battling a Black Heron throughout the entire episode. Love the fight scene. Loved it. And if I had to say the really standout characters here, it would have definitely been Huey, Violet, and Lena. I think they really sold this story. You know, Huey and Lena having this sort of moment where Huey has to learn to embrace who he is, like this other part of himself. The Duke of making a mess, that was great seeing him fight Steelbeak, who was less stupid this episode. Love that. Violet having to play off of Huey, that was great. Violet tends to take things literally, so Louie, who's really all about the subtext and the con, that was a great dynamic. And again, this sword fight, oh my god, the sword fight, the end where it sort of tells like what the difference is between Scrooge and FOWL, is where FOWL takes pride in not really its inner strength and its connections with each other, puts more emphasis on the superficial. Scrooge's like, no, my family is my strength. And these 2 others here who tagged along, and that was great. It's sort of an episode you don't really want to review because there's not a lot to super talk about, because there's not much to nitpick. You know, if anything, the fact that Agent G Gantry D has less to do, I kind of missed the point where she seems to be more machine than Mallard or whatever she is. I don't care. I just don't. Also, the weakest story out of the 3 would have been Dewey and Webby, just because there's no real dynamic. There's no real dynamic to play off of. You know, Webby has to learn to go on really instinct, because that's what Dewey does. Dewey throws caution to the wind and just says, like, we'll go. But the problem is, Agent D doesn't play off of them. You know, Rocker Duck played off of Louie and Violet. You know, Steelbeak served this really great physical obstacle that Huey can't really think around because he's just going to beat him up. With D, there wasn't anything there. So, yeah, great episode still. Like, really great. I tried to do less whinging this episode. I really did. I liked how it ended.
Mr. Director, mission accomplished. We got what we came here for.
The question is, whose feather is this? I think we have some really good ideas in our head, so let's play around with it. The obvious choice is Scrooge, since Black Heron is the one that revealed the feather, and she spent a lot of time fighting Scrooge. It makes sense. There could also be Webby. Beakley was a member. Well, she worked for Shush. We know that Beakley worked for Shush at one point. We do know that there seems to be a secret she's keeping from Webby. You know, we also know there is a Beakley that is in FOWL if we go by the older Darkwing Duck continuity. So, yeah, another choice could have been Lena. You know, maybe there's something unique about Lena. Maybe they want her magic. Could be Huey. Don't know why, but it could be Huey. I don't think it's Dewey or Louie. Actually, I don't think it's any of the triplets. So I'm narrowing it down to Scrooge, Lena, and Webby. And even then, I'd narrow it down to Scrooge and Webby. If anything, we can probably guess that they're trying to they might want to create a super version of Scrooge, like that works for FOWL, the ultimate soldier. Or again, we could go with the fact that they're trying to recruit Webby. Who knows? Who knows? They may want to sow dissent into the family by proving that, hey, you know, your grandmother's keeping this big secret from you, blah, blah, blah. All of it's really good. So anyway, with that in mind, let's bring this video to closing. If you are new to the Bucket Think Tank, feel free to like, comment, share, subscribe, check out some other videos, and I'll catch you all later. This is the Bucket Think Tank signing off. Thanks for watching, and as always, may your fandom serve you well.
Everyone take one. Huzzah!
Do you think he washed the sword before he cut the meat?